Imagine this. One of the most desirable men on the planet, openly in love with his wife, devoted to his kids, and yet still a global fantasy for millions of women. Sounds contradictory, right? But that's exactly the mystery surrounding Chris Hemsworth. Married since 2010, famously private about his family life, and still consistently ranked among the most attractive men alive. So why hasn't marriage dimmed his appeal? Let's break down why Chris Hemsworth remains a fantasy, not in spite of being married, but in many ways because of it. First, let's get the obvious out of the way. Yes, he looks like a real-life superhero. The height, the build, the smile, the effortless charm, it's all there. But if pure looks were enough, plenty of Hollywood heartthrobs would enjoy the same lasting obsession. What makes Chris different is that his attractiveness doesn't feel manufactured. He's not intimidating in a cold, untouchable way. He feels warm, human, and oddly relatable for someone who wields Thor's hammer. Now here's where things get interesting. Chris Hemsworth being married doesn't weaken his fantasy, it actually elevates it. In a culture where celebrity relationships often feel temporary or performative, his long-term marriage to Elsa Pataky stands out. Over a decade together in Hollywood years is almost unheard of. For many women, that stability signals emotional maturity, loyalty, and security, traits that are deeply attractive. He's not just someone who looks good in a suit or shirtless on a beach. He's someone who knows how to commit. There's also the way he talks about his wife and kids. When Chris mentions his family in interviews, it never feels forced or scripted. He openly credits Elsa for keeping him grounded, admits when he's overwhelmed, and talks about fatherhood with genuine emotion. That vulnerability is powerful. It adds layers to his image. He's not selling the idea of being available. He's embodying the idea of being emotionally present, and that's far more compelling. Another major factor is confidence without arrogance. Chris doesn't need to constantly prove himself. He's comfortable making fun of his own fame, poking jokes at his superhero image, and even appearing goofy or unpolished in public. That self-assurance reads as authentic. There's something incredibly attractive about a man who knows who he is and doesn't need validation. For many women, that quiet confidence feels safe, grounded, and aspirational. Then there's the fantasy element that isn't about possession, but admiration. Most women don't actually want Chris Hemsworth to leave his wife or be available. The fantasy isn't about reality, it's about the idea. He represents an ideal. Physical strength paired with emotional intelligence, success paired with humility, masculinity paired with warmth. He's a symbol of what many people wish existed more often in real life. Social media also plays a role. Chris shares glimpses of his life that feel refreshingly normal. Surfing, working out, spending time with his kids, joking around with his brothers. These moments humanize him. He doesn't present himself as a distant Hollywood icon living in an unreachable world. Instead, he comes across as someone who enjoys simple pleasures, values balance, and chooses family over constant spotlight. That relatability fuels admiration rather than jealousy. And let's not ignore the cultural shift. Today, attraction isn't just about mystery or rebellion anymore. It's about emotional safety, respect, and partnership. A happily married man who treats his partner well isn't less desirable. He's proof that those qualities exist. Chris Hemsworth embodies a version of masculinity that feels evolved and that resonates deeply with modern audiences. So why is Chris Hemsworth still a fantasy despite being married? Because he doesn't represent temptation, he represents possibility. He's the reminder that strength and softness can coexist, that commitment doesn't kill attraction, and that being a good partner can actually make someone even more desirable. In the end, the real fantasy isn't Chris Hemsworth himself, it's what he stands for. And that's why, ring or no ring, he continues to captivate millions around the world. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't lose any future celebrity updates.